Hi everyone, my name is Alana, and for this week's discussion, I will be talking about informed consent. So the 4 C's of informed consent are clear, conscious, continuous, and coercion. In Ohio, counselors, social workers, and marriage and family therapists must obtain informed consent from all of their clients. This can be documented through verbal consent, online signature, or a signed form, and a copy of records will be provided to the clients with their consent for both the counselors and the client's records. If the client or patient is under the age of 18, also known as a minor, or they lack the capacity to give consent, the informed consent must be obtained from a parent, guardian, or another person legally responsible for that patient. This is a legal document and it introduces a counselor to the client. This is referenced from the Ohio Laws and Administrative Rules website, their Legislative Service Commission. I then pulled up a client intake form from the Cleveland Counseling Center, and within their informed consent, everything is confidential. They reference that it is a duty to warn, which is therapists are mandated by law to disclose information discussed about in therapy if a client has intent to harm themselves or someone else. Suicide and self-harm. While it's okay to feel depressed and sad, having a plan for suicide is not okay, and ensuring the client's safety comes first. Animal abuse, vulnerable adults, and child abuse. So if they see something or suspect something, they will have to say something. Prenatal exposure during pregnancy. So this means protecting the vulnerable. Mental health counselors by law in Ohio have to report that if they suspect harm is being done to an unborn fetus, they have to say something. Potential client then reads over these terms, agrees to the terms, signs and dates it, and as stated previously, the counselor and the client each get a copy, both for the records. There was also a form for online counseling if the therapy is to be done virtually, and what this was that complete understanding that the therapist would not video record the sessions or the client, that both the counselor and the client would be respectful, and that the sessions would be in a quiet place with no distractions. Both the therapist and the therapist and client would both have Wi-Fi and a secure network, and the client would also have a backup plan, phone number on file in the event that the connection was lost, and that the client also has a safety plan and documented the closest emergency room in the event that an emergency takes place. The purpose of an informed consent helps to enhance client to counselor communication. It helps build trust, talks about the risk to reward benefit, potential treatments, and breaks down the barriers. And this came from the National Library of Medicine Journal regarding informed consent. And at the end of this video, I will reference that. There are many similarities between Ohio State's board and the ACA's Code of Ethics. Each has the client's best interest at hand, their confidentiality. They both talk about a plan if a client has the intent to harm themselves or others, and they both seek to be open and honest with their clients. The ACA Code of Ethics touches more on the death of a client, workers' compensation cases should they arise, and the termination of a practice. Ohio State's Board of Ethics did not touch on these. Regardless, both the Ohio State Board and the ACA want their counselors and therapists to have full credentials, informed consent, and no inappropriate relationships with their clients. Thank you guys for making it this far in my video, and I look forward to watching yours. Have a great week.